Alright guys, a couple days ago I did a video when I first put this guy together. It was an upgrade from last year. Last year had a Maximus 5 formula with a 3770K and two GTX 780s were in there. They were the Asus Direct CU2 cards. And now, just recently, I had upgraded to X99. I have three GTX 980s in there, the Gigabyte, the G1 gaming versions with the WindForce coolers, and I originally had gotten the Gigabyte G1 gaming Wi-Fi motherboard, but I ended up RMAing that back to Newegg where I bought it from. They gave me store credit, so I have that to use up, but I actually just shipped it out yesterday, so they haven't received it yet. But now I actually went with the Asus, the Rampage 5 Extreme. The Gigabyte board was giving me issues with multiple graphics cards installed. It was really getting annoying, so I just said to hell with it and went all out pretty much. And I'm glad I did. Works perfect. It's not retarded and knows which one to pick this time around. It was, believe me, it was annoying every time you turn your computer on having to fuck around with the graphics settings because they keep getting screwed up. Anyways, I have my three the QNIX 1440p panels. They're cheapo Korean brand IPS panels. They do the job. They look great. The bezels may be a little big, but after you actually get in there and you get used to it for a while, it's really not so bad. And pretty much the only complaint I would have is the stands that they come with are extremely cheap and flimsy, and they're junk really. But for the price of them, I mean, you couldn't really complain at the time. These are pretty much from a year ago now. But I have all the stands removed and they're all on a single stand, as you can see. It just kind of reaches around the back of them there. It's extremely heavy. It goes up and down. Can go quite a bit higher, but I have the height pretty much where I wanted it. It'd be a couple person job to adjust the height because there's no way I could do it by myself. Pretty much have to loosen it, but then the whole thing's gonna want to come crashing down. So yeah, them are my panels. I'm on the fence of getting them 4K, at least fitting in the middle. I know it is an inch bigger and I'm going to be getting tight on room because the outside screens I can push out about another ½ an inch. But on like the Asus screen, I noticed the bezel is so thin that it would probably just about fit in there even though it is an inch bigger. Plus I can squeeze them screens out a little bit more. But I'm kind of on the fence because having non-matching monitors just kind of bugs me in a way. Just looking at it, having two different designs, then when you move in your mouse from one screen to the other when you're at different resolutions, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't come out on the other screen in the same spot. It's off because it's so much different. So we will see on that. I got some ghetto speakers here since I'm at the computer shop. I don't have my 5.1s here just because I don't think it would be very professional to have loud music if a customer walks in. I have my Corsair M95 gaming mouse and my Corsair mouse mat and my Logitech G15. I think that guy's about 10 years old now. That's from a system I built right out of high school in like 2004, 2005. But it's still working. Yeah, RGB mechanical keyboard will be my next. That's probably in the pretty near future as well. But I do have one little light here to give me some light because there's the brains of the operation. It's kind of a tight fit, but it is the NZXT Switch 810 chassis. I like it. I do wish it was actually a little bit bigger now. I definitely could go bigger. I wouldn't mind. But there's the OC tweak that comes with the Asus Republic of Gamer board there. I am folding at home, so you probably do hear some fan noise because they are ramped up a little bit. You can see the CPU temps 50, 51. That's not maxed out, it's just GPU folding, but it's still using some CPU usage to keep them going. The CPU fan speed, that really doesn't work because it's an H100i in there, so it really has no say on what that does. My base clock 100 and the multiplier at 45, so I'm running at 4.5 gigahertz. We can squeeze around the side here. There are the 3 Gigabyte G1 Gaming, the GTX 980s in there, running away. I wish them lights were RGBs so I could change the color of them, but oh well. We got the Intel 5820K in there. I was kind of debating on that or the 5930K when I bought it, and really the only difference is the extra PCIe lanes, and it'd only really be useful if I wanted to get 4 cards. Other than that, I mean, it makes no difference. I'm sure the factory clock speeds may be slightly different, but after an overclock they're pretty much going to be the same anyways, so it just didn't seem worth it to spend another couple $100. And we got my G.Skill 4x4 a DDR4, that is 2400 in there. Down on the bottom we have an EVGA Supernova 1300 G2, that is brand new as well. I really love the black and the red power cables. I think that's pretty neat. And for storage, there is only 2 OCZ Vector 150s in there and a RAID. They're only 120 gig drives, so 220 some whatever it is after it's formatted. The reason for that is because I have my server rack on the other side of this wall, and all my storage is on there. Everything I pretty much do is over the network. Even games and things like that I install onto there and load it from there. I forget there is an old Western Digital green drive in here. It's just a terabyte. I used to run games on that, but it's actually faster over the server and the network than it is over that green drive. That thing is very slow. If I can get this. Alright, there we are with the side off now. Now you can kind of get a better look of it. They're all the stock NZXT fans besides one. I have a Scythe fan, if you can see that's rigged up right there. That guy can push some serious air, but at the same time it can make some serious noise if you get it going, but that's going right on them graphics cards. It's a beastly fan. It's thicker, so it doesn't fit in the bracket like it should, so it's kind of rigged up with 2 zip ties on the top holding it. But if you turn that thing up, that thing is loud, but it moves tons of air. There's the EVGA 1300 G2 again, and the 3 graphics cards, their back plates. You'll notice I have 3 flexible 2-way connectors on the SLI bridges. The reason for that is a pretty big disappointment. I'm not too happy about, but the rigid connector, the rigid 3-way connector, or 4-way would be the same. I can't use it. Gigabyte made these damn cards too thick that by the time you squeeze them together tight enough to get the rigid bridge on there, the fans cannot spin because the cards are sandwiched so tight against each other that there's absolutely no room to breathe, and the fan is touching the one below it, so it can't even spin. At least the first fans, the ones in the beginning, they're all locked up. The middle fan on the top and the middle one, the only fans that could really spin on all 3 would be the last fan. That's it. So that's a huge disappointment there. I'm not sure what they were thinking. I can't be the only one wanting to run 3 or 4 of these. So I don't get it. It's pretty retarded if you ask me. So I have it rigged up with the 3 flex cables there. I don't exactly like it, but it's about all I can do besides tearing back plates or something off or water cooling them. But if I wanted to water cool them, I would have just bought reference cards. Not only would the blocks be cheaper, but there's no point in paying for the extra cooler and stuff that they designed for these if we're not even going to use it. What's the point? They may overclock an extra 2% or something, but really is it going to make a difference? Not really. Yeah, there's that green 1 terabyte drive right there in the hot swap bay. It doesn't really even get used now. The H100i up there. So I was thinking about doing water cooling, but I don't even know if this case is big enough to really put a decent amount in here. And then on the other side of that, guys, where the 2 SSDs are, but you can only see them from the other side. I got all my monitors in the back here. Triple display ports, because these cards have 3 display ports, an HDMI and 2 DVIs on them. That I'll give them props for. 6 different outputs is pretty sweet. Them are brand new cables. I just bought them to make them all the same. I had them DVI before, and then just pretty much the rest all standard stuff. The vents open on top for the H100i cooler. Lots of warm air coming out of there. But yeah, that pretty much covers it up and running. Thanks for watching.